Hi everyone, and welcome to Epcot. We are celebrating the 30th Flower and Garden Festival. Greeted here by Moana and Maui. We're going to take you guys on a full tour of the entire park. So grab some snacks. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the ride vehicle at all times as we make our way all the way around the world and back again. The iconic Epcot Ball is home to Spaceship Earth, which is a ride through history. If you can read the signs, you can thank the Phoenicians. On either side of the ball, as it's affectionately known, are various kinds of gift shops. There's the camera store for all of your camera needs. There's bathrooms, guest relations. So everything you need right here at the beginning of the park is located just underneath the ball. Each one of those little discs up there are lights that light up and turn on and dance to music at night. It's super pretty. If you're able to be here after dark, I highly recommend it. Epcot went through some construction projects in the not too distant past, so it's laid out a little different than it has been in previous years. Most of the construction walls have come down. Still feels a little difficult to navigate just because it's unfamiliar, but it'll become familiar soon enough. The Flower and Garden Festival actually ends in 2 days, and then the park will take a couple weeks off from festivals, and the Food and Wine Festival will start, I believe that's sometime in July, and run through the fall. So once you go around the ball, you've got two options, going left or going right, or I guess you could technically go straight as well. So to the right would take you to the seas and the land and the journey of water with Moana. We're going to go the other way. If you were to take a hard left, take you over to Starbucks, but we don't need coffee. Up ahead is the Mickey meet and greet. Meet Mickey and friends throughout the day there. Part of the queue line is outside, but everything else is inside. So if it's a warmer day, you can snag a spot, hang out in the air conditioning for a little while. We're going to hang a left here at Mickey and Friends. This is a show stage area. They got closed down for the evening. The topiaries are set up in honor of the Flower and Garden Festival. They're not always here. Catch a glimpse of Figment up there. These white lines are actually lights. They light up at night. So they've really turned Epcot into a beautiful park at night. You know what I mean? We don't have to. To give you some reference, the ball is now on our left. We're coming up on the Connections Cafe, which is a new quick service eatery on the left. And then the Creation Shop on the right. The Creation Shop feels a lot like the World of Disney store at Disney Springs. They've got a little bit of everything. Purses and stuffed animals and clothes and home goods. All kinds of stuff. This area is full of seating and hard surfaces. It's exceptionally loud. Just past the Creation Shop is the Club Cool for you Coca-Cola fans. If you were to eat in Connections, you can also come out this side. There's Huey, Dewey, and Louie topiaries, Donald's nephews, with Donald not too far behind them. And then this is like the thrill ride area of the park. So if we follow the path this direction, we will end up at the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Guardians of the Galaxy used to have a virtual queue, and now it has opened up just standby, so you don't have to get in the app at a certain time and try to request a time to ride. You can get in the standby line, or you can do a lightning lane, which is a paid entrance into the ride. So the line is very long. It says at capacity. So that means they're not letting anybody else into the ride queue at this time. We'll turn around from Guardians. There was another cut through over there that was full of people, so we'll avoid them. And do like salmon swimming the wrong way, apparently. These are misters for when it's really hot. They'll turn them on outside. You can just like run under them, let your kids stand on them or whatever, and cool down a little bit. Our next path takes us towards Mission Space, which is one of those attractions you either love it or you hate it. So there's two ride options for Mission Space: the regular ride or the not intense version. They are green and orange. On a previous trip, Jerry and I were like, oh, we can do this, it's no problem. Yeah, it's a problem. Be very, very sure this is something you want to do before you do it, or you'll spend the rest of the day regretting your decision. Also, here is Buzz Lightyear's topiary. Also over here next to Mission Space is the Space 220 restaurant, which is a relatively new eatery. It's a table service restaurant that is space themed for obvious reasons. And that pathway blocked off there by those construction walls leads over to Test Track, which is currently closed for refurbishment. They decided it was time to do some updates. They're working on refurbishment. It's supposed to open later this year, but an exact date hasn't been given. The park feels a bit crowded today. It's the last weekend of the festival, and I'm sure that is adding to the capacity. This is another water feature. It shoots up water fountains and misters. I'm gonna avoid walking actually on it because I'm not sure if it's gonna turn on or not. And I am not feeling like getting soaking wet today. So this is where the entrance to Test Track will be once they remove the construction walls and reopen the ride from refurbishment. They do have a couple of new Chevys parked out here. Chevy is their sponsor. So we'll check a couple of these out. Looks like a new Corvette. And maybe a Blazer SUV of some kind. And then the new Colorado. The park makes a giant circle, so you can't technically get lost. Over to our right, we're back to the creation shop. Again, this is the opposite side that I showed you a few minutes ago. So if you walk straight through the creation shop, you'll come out over here into this area. For the festival, they've opened up a playground, and it gives something for the kiddos to do. Let off some energy while the adults are drinking and snacking around the world. Things to climb on and ride on and jump on. And then this path will take us over to the entrance of the World Showcase.
And then at the very end, you come alongside out here.
There's a secondary path that you can also take that leads you across the water. But it's not in the shade right now as much as this path is, so I chose this one.
It's fine.
Whether you would have gone in the direction of the Season Land or Guardians and Test Track, you would have ended up down this path at the end. So now, just like we had walked straight through Spaceship Earth to get here. All the pretty flowers for the Flower and Garden Festival. And this is Mickey, Minnie, and Pluto's topiary. All these people here are in line for a PhotoPass photographer. That is what Disney calls their picture-taking people. If you have the memory maker associated with your package, or if you bought it for the day, any photo taken by a PhotoPass photographer comes with unlimited digital downloads. So all the photos on the rides, and then anything taken by a PhotoPass photographer is included in that photo package. If you don't have the photo package, you can purchase the pictures individually. We are nearing the end of the walkway that starts the World Showcase, and there's a huge debate about whether you should go left towards Mexico or right towards Canada. The vast majority of people say go left towards Mexico, and that's what I'm going to do today because it's closest to Norway, which is my favorite country, but I'm also not opposed going right towards Canada and, bucking the system a little bit. But today, I feel like I need some Norway sooner rather than later, so we're going to go to the left.
Yeah.
The golden statues that you see are pieces that have been added that work with Magic Band Plus. So if you have a Magic Band Plus, you walk up to those golden statues. There's a little sign that tells you a motion to move your hand in, and then the statues will have some kind of interaction that goes to your My Disney Experience app. So it'll make things pop up on the screen, or it'll talk to you, or it'll tell you a story. But you have to have the Magic Band Plus.
I said I was my first thought when I saw that.
Here on the right is a Joffrey's coffee stand. They are the official coffee of Disney World. You find them throughout the parks and at some of the resorts. For example, there's one at Caribbean Beach at the start of the Skyliner. If you're not into Joffrey's coffee, there are Starbucks scattered here and there as well. For the Flower and Garden Festival, there are extra food booths and stalls that are set up around the World Showcase and throughout the rest of the park. Most of them are around World Showcase, but there are a few scattered throughout the rest of the park. Just extra snack stops, beverage stops to celebrate, in this situation, flower and garden. The food is very pretty. A lot of them come with edible flowers. Epcot is one of my favorite parks when there is a festival going on. If there is no festival going on, Animal Kingdom tends to be my favorite. Mexico gets a little crowded because they funnel a lot of people into a smaller space. And the very first stop in Mexico on the left is the Margarita Bar. And as you can see, there are lots of people in line for margaritas. On the right is their quick service La Cantina, which is a cool place to sit and watch fireworks if you're lucky enough to get a table when the fireworks are happening. Inside the Mexico Pavilion is a table service restaurant and the Gran Fiesta Three Caballeros boat tour with Donald, and there's several authentic shops and stalls in there as well. It's nice and air conditioned. It's a hot day. It's a great little place to stop. The Mexico's other table service restaurant, La Hacienda, is here on the right.
Kevin said later.
Back in that corner over there is where you can meet Mexican Donald. So he wears a poncho and a sombrero when he meets his fans over there. Looking out across the water, that giant monstrosity out there is where the fireworks and water show happens. So the current show is called Luminous, and it uses lights and water features and fireworks. And now we've entered my favorite land, Norway. It is very much on my to-do list to visit actual Norway, but Disney's Norway is the best I've got for now. So the Royal Summer House is where Anna and Elsa do their meet and greets. The Wandering Reindeer is where the ride ends, the Frozen Ever After ride. There's the bathroom back here, and then the exit for the bakery with seating is under there.
Told me about it, but where was back to?
Stave Church you can walk through. It talks about the history of Norway's mythology. It's pretty cute. You learn about Loki, in case you're into the Marvel villain or hero, whatever you want to call him. Norway's only real restaurant is Akershus. It's a princess buffet.
Yeah.
Kind of close in the world, and they are.
And this is the line for Frozen Ever After, which is the attraction here in the land. Back in the day, before Frozen was a thing, it used to be a ride called Maelstrom. And it took you through the history of Norway and a giant whirlpool that used to happen right there. They've covered that up with rocks and turned it into a waterfall. They did a good job keeping the structure of the ride when they rethemed it to Frozen. Then we have the fjording shop. I never buy anything in here, but I love walking through it. Oh, these are really cute. Those are new. I may have to have one of those blankets. Just don't tell Jared. Oh, and t-shirts. This was a bad idea. I should not have stopped in here. They also have Frozen clothing and toys, hair pieces.
Should be the first left.
Get one.
Come on, get in there. That's all.
Ooh, that feels really good too. I might need one of those.
It sucks it down. It's great.
And it looks like a booger.
And Viking Mickey ears, because why not? I'd do it. Over here is the Kidcot Fun Stop. Each country in the World Showcase has a stop like that. There's something for the kids to do, to create, to color. And it's a nice little break from the crowds and everything inside the World Showcase. And then this is their beauty section, perfume, skincare. It smells amazing. They have a scent called Layla, and I have their perfume. It smells really good.
All I gotta do is say one word.
There's a really good chance my husband is in the bakery getting me a school bread. I'm gonna let him surprise me and not tell him that I know he's in there. School bread's my favorite. I am gluten intolerant, so I am not supposed to eat it, and I understand the consequences that I will incur tomorrow with headache and joint pain and everything. The school bread's so good, I just can't help it.
No.
My intention is to visit real Norway for my 40th birthday. Here's the topiary of Anna and Elsa waving goodbye to us as we leave Norway to head into China.
vegetable down. She made more money than.
What are you doing?
So in China, the Joy of Tea is like their little snack stop that's there all the time. And then this courtyard area is where the acrobats perform periodically throughout the day. And then inside that temple there, the Reflections of China video that plays like every 12 minutes or something along those lines. That's also where you can do a meet and greet with Mulan. The Nine Dragons is a table service restaurant, and then the Lotus Blossom Cafe is their quick service restaurant. For a table service restaurant, that's something that you would be seated by a host and your order would be taken by a waiter. And a quick service restaurant is something where you would order from a counter and seat yourself. The House of Good Fortune is a shop, and it continues all the way down through that shop down there. So it's one big, long, continuous store. All inside, so if it's raining, it's a good place to hang out for a little while. Everything purchased in any of the stores in the countries is authentic. So like I mentioned, that Layla perfume in Norway, that is authentic to Norway. And then the things that are in the shop in China are authentic to China. Most of the stores also sell snacks that are authentic to their country, which is pretty cool. I'm an adventurous eater and I love trying new things. So it's not uncommon for Jerry and I to buy a couple of random new snacks in some of the stores when we're in the World Showcase. The quick service restaurants within each of the countries of the World Showcase are also places that you can get a free cup of water. So if you're thirsty, you don't mind the slightly wonky taste of Florida tap water, they will be happy to give you a free cup of ice water. Leaving China, we are going to head over the bridge to the outpost, which is a bit of a weird place because it's not specific to any one country. It feels very like Australian outback, but it's not Australia.
It's China.
So the outpost is a smidge confusing, but it's cool nonetheless. It's a cute stop for the kids, and I'll show you why in a minute. First, I want to mention that this bridge is a drawbridge. They used to bring boats in and out through here, barges for the fireworks. So you can see the gate there that they'll use to close it off if they need to raise it up. Also, fun fact, every time you come through here, there's a gigantic conglomerate of birds hanging out in those trees. Every time. Never fails. I love bubble wands. If I could have a little kid walk in front of me and just blow bubbles all day, I'd be so much happier. It's really hard to be unhappy when there's bubbles in your face. So when I said the outpost is a fun stop for kids, it's got all of these things you can play with and make noise with, and kids tend to love that stuff. Also in the outpost, they have a face painting stand and then several shops of souvenir gifts that you can buy. Earrings and face masks and hats and things like that.
Oh, letter. I brought it.
Listen, go back to that. We're not bringing this wax. Y'all are walking.
From the outpost, we head into Germany, home of beer, pretzels, and Snow White. You can get all three of them here. I've never seen the Seven Dwarfs here, but Snow White tends to show up pretty frequently here in Germany. There's also a character dining, storybook dining at the Wilderness Lodge where you can meet Snow White and a couple of dwarfs and the Evil Queen. So the wishing well over there in the corner is where Snow White greets her fans. This building here on the left is the Caramel Shop, sponsored by Werther's. They sell all things caramel, candy and apples and popcorn. And if your best friend is anything like my best friend, she will threaten the life of your friendship if you don't bring her back caramel corn. Ashley Bowman, just going to throw that out there. We are still friends because I continue to bring her home caramel corn. And then here on the right is their beer stop. And then the beer garden restaurant is their table service, authentic German buffet restaurant. They also have a Christmas store, a Stein store.
Give me a second, Emily. Coming.
And a crystal shop. All the pretty shiny things. Check out this Spaceship Earth. Can be yours for only $79,000, which is why they have it behind glass. And then across the little courtyard behind the fountain is their clock shop. They have authentic German cuckoo clocks that they sell. Let's pop in here. I know you see stuffed animals, but I promise there's clocks. There we go. Somebody was a good video. Here in Germany, there's also a boat dock that will take you across to the other side of the lagoon. If you don't want to walk around the world, there's a boat. There's also a bathroom.
No worries.
And then one of the cool things that the German pavilion is known for is this train garden that they have set up here. It's like a whole tiny little village that the train goes through. We got one train stopped over there. But I see another one coming around the path. Yeah, how cool and calming is this? Just hanging out here in the German pavilion. Like the noise level over here isn't anywhere close to what it is 15 feet behind me out on the main walkway. Super cool.
No way. Wait, and this actually.
Leaving Germany, we head into Italy. The Italian pavilion is currently under construction. They're working on their clock tower. But in true Disney fashion, they have hung up a picture of the clock tower on the scaffolding, so you can't see the ugly metal and wood scaffolding and stuff. They've covered it up. Like, how cool is that? There are various places to eat in here. Stop and get alcoholic beverages, wine stops, gelato places, pizza restaurant, and an Italian restaurant. Big shock.
Let us know if you're ready to Jordan.
The Durable Lady and the Tramp topiaries.
How do you find
The Tutto Italia Ristorante is one of their sit-down restaurants. They also have the Tutto Visto wine cellar and the Via Napoli pizza restaurant. And then Via Napoli also has a pizza window that's kind of like their quick service where you can just walk up and get a piece of pizza as opposed to sitting down and eating in the restaurant. You can see they've squeezed a lot of things into a small space back here. They've done a great job with it. The Kid Cot for Italy is over there. You don't have to be a kid to do that. Like, if you want to sit down and color something or make something in the country, they'll let you do it. Italy has a street performer named Sergio. He is a mime, and he pops up during the day and does a short performance for people. He's hilarious. If you ever happen to see that Sergio is going to be around, I highly recommend you hanging out and watching for him. We're leaving Italy and heading to America. It's not technically an America pavilion, but it is a celebration of America. It's going to get loud, and I apologize. There's actually a concert going on. So during the festivals, they have concerts each night as well. So Flower and Garden Festival, the name of the concert series is Garden Rocks. We have another Joffrey's Coffee. Behind that is the Regal Eagle Smokehouse, which is a barbecue quick service restaurant. Really good. The concert is happening in the America Gardens Theater. Tonight it's somebody named the Cat Empire, which I've never heard of. And apparently neither is anybody else, because there's very few people in there. But the people who are in there appear to be having a good time. The Fife and Drum Tavern is the place in Epcot to get turkey legs, if that's your jam. So if my father were here, he would be in line for that turkey leg right now. Opposite of the theater is the American Adventure, which is an indoor sit-down show essentially about the history of America. They also have the Voices of Liberty, which is their pre-show a cappella singing group. And then lastly, there's the Art of Disney, which is an art store. During Christmas time, this theater is where they do the candlelight processional. If you're going to be in town at Disney during that time of year, I highly recommend that you take in the candlelight processional. Last stop before leaving America is the funnel cake stand. They always have regular funnel cakes and then one seasonally changing funnel cake flavor. And then during the festival, they'll also have a festival flavor. After America, we come to Japan, which is another pavilion that's got a ton of stuff packed into a very small space. Here on the left is a snack stop where they sell sushi and something called kakigori, which I guarantee I am not pronouncing correctly, but it's essentially the Japanese version of Hawaiian shaved ice. And it is fantastic, especially if it's hot. Super refreshing. It's gigantic. You could split it with somebody. Really fun. And then inside the Japan pavilion, upstairs is one of their sit-down restaurants. And then downstairs is a shop that starts here and it goes all the way through the pavilion, even back through those doors past the construction walls.
Are you ready?
There's gardens and waterfalls. Here's one of the gardens that you can walk through. Koi pond. See the koi fish. The Katsura Grill is one of their quick service restaurants. And then, like I mentioned, upstairs is their table service teppanyaki restaurant. The Garden House is their sake and beer stop. And over here, you can see like the shop just keeps going. Keeps going. The farther away we get from the main stretch, the quieter it is. So if you're looking for a quiet place, this is a good place to go. Shop's still going. We're getting ready to find the end. Or beginning, whichever way you want to look at it.
You're the last stop.
And then through those doors is a Japanese art exhibit. Here in Japan, you can pick your own oyster and get the pearl out of it. So if you pay to do that, you get to keep the pearl for free. And then if you want, they will turn your pearl into jewelry. So that's kind of a fun experience, especially if it's raining. That's something really cool to do while you're waiting for the Florida rain to stop.
What is in the book? I just tried it without the straw first. What the straw? Like, was it between the side?
Also, we are halfway around the world, just in case you were wondering how much farther we had.
Get your cards. Get your cards.
One of the coolest vantage points in the park is here in Japan.
All right, now what you're gonna do? You're gonna go like this.
As you can see, just through those Japanese pillars, you get a full view of the Spaceship Earth ball, the icon of the park.
There's one activity in Japan.
All right, we are leaving Japan and heading to Morocco. When Epcot was originally introduced, one of the things that they used to pay for the park was they allowed the countries to own their pavilion inside Epcot. So the government of Germany and Japan and Norway all had ownership of their pavilion in the park, which means they got to dictate what kind of food was sold, how the cast members were dressed, the souvenirs that were sold, how the pavilion itself was set up. They essentially had complete control, almost like it was a business. And over the years, that ownership has been given back to Disney. And Morocco was the last country to turn over their ownership to Disney. And it just happened not too terribly long ago. And one of the things Disney has maintained is because Morocco is a predominantly Muslim country, they don't turn the lights on in the pavilion in the evening. So the rest of the pavilions are lit up at night with extra lighting and accent lights and things. And Morocco has very few of those in honor of the relationship that Disney had with the Moroccan government for so many years. They maintained that tradition that the Moroccan government put in place. Morocco is where you can meet Jasmine and Aladdin. And the Tangerine Cafe is their quick service stop. Their KitKat stop is in there. We've got several shops back here. Super, super quiet back here. Again, if you need a moment, it's just fun to wander around and look and see all the pretty things that there are. There's little shops through some of these archways. And this restaurant Marrakesh used to be the table service restaurant. And then COVID shut it down and it hasn't come back. So they've turned it into an annual pass holder lounge in the meantime. The Gifts of Morocco shop's the souvenir shop across the way. And then the Spice Road Table, which is their table service restaurant now, is here. There's covered seating, but nothing indoors. So keep that in mind if it's July and you're looking to make dining reservations. That one might be a little on the warm side. There's also a bathroom stop in Morocco. After Morocco comes France, which is one of my favorite countries to eat in. France has a lot of fun things to eat, even when it's not festival time. So this prominent building here on our left is the Chefs de France table service restaurant, which is one of my favorites. And then there on the right is a wine snack stop. So all they serve is wine. And you can see by the amount of people in line that it's popular. And from the outside looking in, it looks like that's all there is to the France Pavilion, but that is not a correct assumption at all. If we turn the corner to the left, we find a ton more.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but like we're having to win the rest of the game, lose by 3. So, yeah.
Again, a lot of stuff in a small space, and it is crowded today. The Impressions de France show is in the building just in front of us, and it is like a history of France. You can frequently meet Belle and Aurora here. One of my favorite places to visit, actually two of my favorite places to visit, are the ice cream shop. Through that green door, they have rotating ice cream flavors. They make a brioche ice cream sandwich that is amazing. And then through this archway that looks like a gift shop, there's actually a bakery and sandwich place back in that corner, which is what all of these people are in line for because it is amazing. So they have really great sandwiches and bakery snacks. Super fun place for breakfast or lunch or late night snack. There's no place to sit. When you get your ice cream, there's like no seating out here. So you kind of got to eat and walk your ice cream. Monsieur Paul is another table service restaurant here in France. And if we come around this corner, through here, we have some shops on either side. Parisian perfume store, first shop. But then we also have the entry to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
You want to go look, but you're just sitting there.
So we follow this lamp-lit, tree-lined path back to the ride.
Or, no, maybe it takes you to a big Nordic hotel. That's it. Or, we got picture you want
No, we must miss this one.
Like someone who's
So that's a bathroom there on the right. And then their crepe restaurant is here in front of us. That's what all of these people are in line for, the crepe restaurant. And then you continue going down this path, trees and lamps. This is the entry to the Ratatouille ride, which we're not going to do because it's an hour wait. And I don't feel like standing in line for an hour.
The single rider.
You can see the Skyliner flying overhead. That is Disney's gondola transportation system that runs between some of their resorts and then Epcot and Hollywood Studios. The hub of the Skyliner is at Caribbean Beach. But if you stay at the Riviera, the Art of Animation, or Pop Century, those resorts all have stations for the Skyliner. And then when you get to Caribbean Beach, you will get off of your gondola, change cars to come to either Epcot or Hollywood Studios. If you're coming to Epcot on the Skyliner, you will enter at the World Showcase Gateway, not the main entrance of the park. So when you come in on the Skyliner, you will come into the park between France and the UK, rather than the main entrance where Spaceship Earth is. So that's just something to keep in mind. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in the French Pavilion. This lighthouse of sorts is here all of the time. That little snack stand is only here for the festivals.
O sea, you want this? You want this?
I failed to mention in Morocco, there's another boat launch, just in case you don't feel like walking. All of these people lined up here are waiting for the Illuminous nighttime show. And then down the stairs there, those people have paid for a dessert party. So they have dessert parties in the evenings that you can pay for. You get desserts and drinks and a dedicated place to watch the fireworks, which is nice if you're a fireworks person and don't like to grab your spot a couple hours early.
Did they put a second one and say Art Square?
At the end of this bridge, to the left is the World Showcase entrance that I mentioned when you come in on the Skyliner. This is where you come in. If you are staying at the Boardwalk, Beach Club, or Yacht Club, you can also enter here. And then to the right, we're continuing around the world by entering the UK, merry old England. Back to the left, underneath that arch, is a walkway that leads to a garden where they have small concerts, character meet and greets. Yorkshire Fish and Chips is their quick service restaurant. And then the Rose and Crown is their table service restaurant.
I did it.
And then back here to the left, several shops and stalls. One of my favorites is the Twining Tea Shop. Jerry and I have recently become tea people, and we love the Twining brand. They have like 500 different flavors of tea, which is an exaggeration. They do have a lot though. So we are working our way through a 40 pack that we ordered off Amazon. But we found some new ones in the Twining Tea Shop when we wandered through there earlier. So we're gonna try those when we get home.
Oh, I don't know. Hey,
Also in the UK are those famous red phone booths. So if you have a kiddo that doesn't know what a payphone is, this is a great opportunity to teach them. Also makes for a nice souvenir photo. We are almost finished with our tour of the world. 57 minutes after we started. I'm guessing, I don't know how long this has been, but I feel like I've been walking for an hour. We have another Joffrey's coffee stand. We are coming into our last country, which is Canada. Over here on the left is the mill stage, where they'll have various acts throughout the day. At one point there was a lumberjack show, and then there was a drummer group. I'm not entirely sure what is happening there now. It says the Gaby Country Band is their current show. Canada has a table service restaurant called Le Cellier. I don't speak French, so there's a really good chance that I screwed that up, but it is fantastic. It's a splurge restaurant, so it's not someplace that we eat at, every time we're here or whatever, but we did back in December for our anniversary. It was so good. They also have a show called Canada Far and Wide that happens in an indoor circle theater, which is inside that rock formation there. That's where the show is. And then they've also got this pretty garden area you can walk through. The Cellier's entrance is right there. They are known for their popcorn. So they have a popcorn stall here as their snack stop. And there's always a line of people for the maple Canadian popcorn, as you can see here. That is not a festival stop. That is a stall that is always there. And as we exit Canada, we've officially made it around the world, people. We traveled the world together. I don't know about you, but I had a great time. So that leaves us with a couple more stops on our Epcot tour. Man, that child was unhappy. I don't know if y'all could hear that or not, but she was really mad.
It was.
Rather than go back in the world show, the way we came into the World Showcase, we're going to take a bit of a shortcut since we're visiting the land and the seas. So I'm going to hang left here. This World Showcase is a festival stop that used to be a Starbucks. My favorite festival food this year came from there. It was a liquid nitrogen honey cheesecake. It was fantastic. We're probably going to get another one before we leave.
I can imagine. Joke.
You can see we're back in sight of the bowl, headed back towards the exit. The entrance we used to get to the World Showcase was across the water.
Okay.
It's another playground area for the kiddos.
Avatar, Flight of Passage. Like everything you live on. Sure.
When you get to this Y, If you go to the right, that'll take you back to the creation shop, to the exit. And if you stay to the left, that will take us to the land and the seas. And then we're going to end at Moana's Journey of Water. So across the water here, that glass triangular pyramid looking building is where Journey into the Imagination with Figment happens. Well, and here comes the monorail. Monorail is another one of Disney's modes of transportation. You can pick up the Epcot monorail at either, you can pick it up at the Ticket Transportation Center, but if you're at Magic Kingdom, you can get a transfer monorail over here. Journey into the Imagination with Figment is a snooze ride, in my opinion, but it's inside and there's never a wait and it's sitting down. So if you need to get off your feet in the air condition, this is definitely the place to do it.
We're back over where y'all were. Oh, in the foreign building? I see you. Okay.
Ooh, they lit up the bowl. I guess it's dark enough for the lights to come on. It's exciting stuff. All right, up this pathway, we have the land building. And for time, I'm not going to go inside. There's a ton of things packed in there. The Awesome Planet show is in there. Soarin' ride, the Living with the Land boat ride, the Garden Grill restaurant. All of those things are things that you can do inside the land building. It's also air conditioned, which is great. And they have really nice bathrooms.
Get them out. Put that down and get your one out. If you want to finish it, no, Lord, no.
Here in front of us is the building for the Seas with Nemo, which is a ride that takes you through the Nemo story and you end inside the Seas aquarium. And then you can wander around the aquarium at your leisure. There's lots of fish tanks. There's a fish nursery where they've got all the baby species that they're working with. There's a manatee tank where you can see some of the manatees they're helping rehab. And then the restaurant, there's a table service restaurant here as well. The table service restaurant is inside the aquarium too. So one whole wall of the restaurant is aquarium. So it's pretty cool to be eating underwater. And we are ending with Epcot's newest attraction, Moana's Journey of Water. And it takes you through the life cycle of water and how all the water is connected and how it all benefits us and humanity and life in general. There are two paths you can take in the Journey to Water, a wet one or a dry one, depending on your mood and your temperature that day. We'll go through the water cycle. And I don't know if you can hear it, but they are playing the music from Moana. We're learning about rain. And they've got interactive water features. This is like a water harp. So when you touch the water, it makes noise. It plays music. This is on the wet path. So if you don't want to get your feet wet, probably watch that one from afar. There's a jumping water feature you can interact with. This is another water feature that you can interact with. You make the springs jump up out of the rocks. Yeah, these little kids are making it. So there's a spot on the floor that they're supposed to stand on, and the water follows your hand. And then we have a wet path and a dry path through here. And I'm gonna risk the wet one, see what happens.
Alright, then they're ready for it. There you go.
All right, here we go. My feet are wet, by the way, but that was really fun. If the sound of water inspires you, they do have a bathroom right here as part of the attraction. This is the prettiest piece of the entire attraction, Tahiti. Finishing our walk past the river to the ocean. There's the dancing water feature there for the kiddos to play in. The water jumps across the walk path. And if you stand on those spots on the concrete, you can make the water jump out of that rock. Just like those people did. Very cool. And lastly, make it to the sky. The water knows the way back to the sky so that the cycle starts over. Sorry. We have reached the end of our journey. Thanks for hanging out with me through our trek through the park. We're going to continue past the journey of water and back out under the bowl. Spaceship Earth. But first, I'm going to go get me another piece of that liquid nitro cheesecake. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening.